Ladies and gentlemen, Barbados is back in the news. They are demanding reparations, not just from King Charles, although he is probably the biggest one they're demanding money from, but other nations as well. And I can understand why they would be doing that. And quite frankly, we need to get our reparations from more than just America. So, they are demanding trillions from several different countries. And, we know they're European nations, and slavery was all across the islands. And, over the years, I have seen Jamaica and, you know, other islands. And, the other day, I even saw Africa, some nations in Africa demanding reparations for colonialism. And I tell you, it is a global rise going on right now. And people are no longer sitting around waiting for these people to come up with new excuses. I mean, they can come up with all the excuses they want. This issue is never going away. It's never going away. See, you saying, oh, you're not going to get anything, that's not going to deter us. Not anymore. And all of these nations that have become wealthy, they did it at the expense of slavery. And it's amazing how when a wrong is done to a group of people, it's justified to give them something, except for when it comes down to the melanated people on the earth. But we are rising, and we're going to continue to rise. And I'm glad, that we are seeing leaders of these countries rise and demand reparations. And y'all remember when William and Kate went to Jamaica and how they got protested and picketed, you know? And I believe also Prince Edward and Sophie, they went and they got picketed. So people are real serious about this topic, and it's only going to get louder and stronger as we go along. Here in America, they're still trying to pretend like there's no money for reparations as we're watching them fork all kinds of billions of dollars into the wars that are going on, into the immigrants that are coming to the country. So they got it for everything except for us. When it's us, all of a sudden the money has disappeared and there is no money. Well, you can keep playing that game if you want. This topic is never going away. So, y'all, I'm going to have you listen to this article and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. Barbados PM Mottley demands $4.9 trillion in fresh calls for slavery reparations. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley has claimed that the country is owed $4.9 trillion in reparations by slave-owning nations. Motley made the statement during her lecture at the London School of Economics on Wednesday, Deck 6, while using King Charles III's comment that the time has come to acknowledge the enduring impact of slavery. Motley said conversations regarding how this debt should be repaid would be difficult and will take time, but they needed to happen. We're not expecting that the reparatory damages will be paid in a year or two or five because the extraction of wealth and the damages took place over centuries. But we are demanding that we be seen and that we are heard, she said on Wednesday. A day earlier, she met newly appointed British Foreign Secretary David Cameron and discussed the bilateral relations. Pressed if the reparation talk featured during the discussion, Motley refused to divulge anything to the media. I'm not going to get into the details of our conversation, but suffice to say, I think the Foreign Secretary will take his lead from His Majesty, she said. Ever since becoming the head of the island nation, Motley has become one of the prominent voices challenging the legacy of colonialism and demanding reparations for the damage done by the empire. Her earlier preparation estimate was around $24 trillion, which she said the UK owes to 14 countries affected by transatlantic slavery. She added that Spain owes 17.1 trillion, France owes 2.9 trillion, and the Netherlands owes $4.86 trillion. These numbers, if taken out of context, can appear to be staggering, but in relation to the total wealth accumulated over a period of time, the numbers are actually minuscule, said Motley. Notably, last year, during his trip to Rwanda, King Charles III shared his sorrow for the suffering caused by slavery, but stopped short of apology for the royal family's historic involvement in the practice. At the peak of their powers, successive British monarchs, as well as royals from other nations, participated in the trade, either facilitating it or making money from it. Although Motley's estimates may seem outrageous, but when factored the GDP amassed by the countries that enslaved the African people, it suddenly makes sense. I am really happy to see that these islands and even us here in the US, we're not letting it go. Reparations, the topic is here to stay. The topic is here to stay all through the upcoming election. It's here to stay after the election is over. And the demand for reparations will always be here. And if that is a thorn in your side, then good. Good. You know, we have come a long way, but as long as we don't have reparations, it's not long enough. And right now, the whole world is resisting and they don't want to right the wrong that has been done. I mean, you can say it was a long time ago. Actually, it really wasn't that long ago. And you can say, well, why do I have to pay? Well, because you benefited and you still continue to benefit to this very day. And not only are you benefiting, you are also picking up the reins for your forefathers by keeping us oppressed, keeping us at the bottom, sabotaging us at schools, sabotaging us on jobs, sabotaging us through your criminal justice system. So it's not like you said, hey, we're going to just get this over with and fix it. No, you continued it. So, really, in a sense, you're even worse than your forefathers. But, y'all, tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.